Anine, welcome. Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. We are so pleased that you are here with us today for this important moment in reconciliation in our shared history. We want to acknowledge that it is Earth Day, and every day for First Nations people, it is Earth Day. My name is Joy Kramer, and I am proud to be the Chief Executive Officer of the Southern Chiefs Organization and a citizen of the Saugeen Anishinaabe First Nation with maternal ties to Sandy Bay First Nation. SCO represents 34 Anishinaabe and Dakota nations and more than 81,000 citizens in a territory that is now southern Manitoba. Together, we have been working on this important project for more than a year, and we are so pleased to share the announcement with you today. On the stage behind us is Grand Chief Daniels, Southern Chiefs Organization, Governor Richard Baker of the Hudson's Bay Company, Governor Richard Baker. We also welcome their families and extended families that are here with us today. Supporting the Grand Chief and the Governor are members of our Chiefs Executive Committees. Chief Glenn Hudson, Peguis First Nation, Treaty 1. Chief Cornell McLean, Lake Manitoba First Nation, Grand Chief of Treaty 2 and Acting Grand Chief of the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs. Chief Trevor Prince, Sandy Bay, Ojibwe First Nation, Treaty 1. We want to recognize all of the chiefs in the room and their families and thank them for being here today.
Tansi et bienvenue. Gawitama Dinawau, Nuiwiniya, Jennifer Moore Rattray. I'm Chief Operating Officer with Southern Chiefs Organization and a proud member of Papikasis First Nation. Like many families, my history is entwined with Hudson's Bay and with the Hudson Bay Company for most of 2 centuries, perhaps even longer, hunting and trapping and acting as clerks and guides. So this is truly a special and historic day for so many of us, and my mic is now on. And we are so thrilled and honored that you are all here with us. We want to recognize the Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, the Honorable Heather Stephenson, the Honorable Ahmed Hussein, the Honorable Patty Haidu, the Honorable Dan Vandel from Manitoba, and His Worship Mayor Bowman. We would also like to acknowledge the HBC family here with us today. We would like to acknowledge Ian Nairn, President and CEO of the Bay. We want to acknowledge Trinisa Danusser, Vice President of Marketing, Communications, and Outreach, and her wonderful son, Roman. Tiffany Bourret, DVP of Communications, PR, and Heritage. Betsy, Henry, and Charlie Putnam, the family of President and CEO of HBC Properties and Investments, Ian Putnam. Architects Roger Duffy, Ryan Barney, who are here. Christopher Condeleon, who is here. And the rest of their team. So we are just so thrilled. Well, at this time, we would like to invite up Diandrea Desjarlais, who is Anishinaabe from Long Plain First Nation and Sandy Bay First Nation, and also Sophia Smoke, who is Dakota from Dakota Plains, Wapatanoyata, to do the territorial acknowledgement. So Diandrea, if we can invite you up, and Sophia, if we can invite you up to acknowledge both Treaty 1 and, of course, the unceded Dakota Territory. So important to have our youth involved every step of the way, our elders guiding us, and our youth telling us what they want and need for the future.
Hello, everyone. We would like to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 1 territory and the unceded lands of the Dakota, the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, Dakota, Cree, Ojibwe, and Dene peoples, and the home of the Red River Métis.
We also acknowledge our Inuit relatives who make the South their home.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, DeAndre and Sophia. We are honored to have two drum groups with us today, the Spirit Horse, a youth drum group from Long Plain First Nation, Battling Horse Drum Group, Tyrone Chaskey, Terrence Brown, Jason Taylor, Kevin Sutherland, and Garrick Takan. The Spirit Horse Drum Group, Della Assiniboine, Lisa Assiniboine, Ray Coco Stevenson, Shantae Assiniboine, Jonas Houle, Nathaniel Houle, Alan Assiniboine, Leave Assiniboine, Jacob Longclaws, and Teensy Rose Assiniboine. They are going to bring us together now and prepare us for our opening prayer. And I would like to invite Spirit Horse to begin their drum song, followed then by Battling Horse to have their drum song. And go ahead.
Amazing. Egosani, chimigwech. Now that is the way to start the day. I would now like to invite Elder Mary Maidwayashing to provide our opening prayer. Mary is a citizen of Lake Manitoba First Nation, and we were in ceremony with her yesterday together with our HBC family as we prepared for today and for our new future.
Bonjour, kitnen akwego gan kasama na tu manu ni gan akwege anin kagi samishat kasama na tu chisa kagi katwan chisa namyan miyani gan ki katwan enerwan kaisa abachatwan sungaga boy saganoi kwe dishnikas shago ni gani onakut gito ko minaguwinswan miya chabachatwan ganin Manu tas kanin kap mianam ya manu wewana ke gun teng chap miunche ki katwan kwe ke guchi katwan chap mianam ya nongko maga agi shagak kapi chimeno nak chagek oge maka anak katana bekuna nam kena ke kapi chagek china kamigasam we kaisa chagek nongam meisha ke gir unchana katam we Nungam Jesus Samagak, where I shall Samagak. Can you chance an anek, concha? Get an away magan an anek, get up an uchi an anek, who's an anek, should go where Karawi been a tiger. Manuta scanning me, yeah, Bemisha Kawetian, got me shagan ashim, canin, keep me a scorn yan, Aninka give me ketwan ganin, where Manitogi getwana agi me shit. Agishaman ito kita nakaman mi wech kitnen mano chane wewane quick chane mano chane mano sek kinagagu ni ganing asik kinagagu wegano kata mato ke maka anak chane mano nago kegu ni bwa kita magasiot ndana we maga na anak ni chance na anak nus na anak ongweke kaguching kane bot kayot Minke kena nanaga tena mak nungkum kagi shagak chip miabatak we uma wakai gan kawip me tashikam mat chip miat usatwat tama we na Chidne bought where wena, get on the schnabe manana, get on the way magananak sago, kakena. Ani schna get on the wendaman, a kenoma kayang, wuma kan ka kenagani boy young nungum. Away again, Mama Nanaka, Apachowa and an Akumanunga Gishagak. Ani schna win kenagaguga in a tiger tooth. Get don't chip matters and the Mao yawing, we nanish, China and Agasa win. The Sogishak Kenawakana when a megonan, win the Sogishak, Kenagagu on the tiger tune, on international matters young, Chimeno on big house swing, on Guaca Banuchak, on Guac Sogagat and away Magan and Nanak. On one Sogama Skikian, Magan Tiger King, a pushke, where Gam Cap Matagasiot, Nibin Gayot, a West Yakawino. Get a Soga, Gungwaka, and Angustak. I get the big geeses, the way geeses. Me watch and na, Manuta scanning, me watch the kit, keep me a watch and big one, the Manum Gagi sugar, Chimian. Away gag, Kani Gana Gasut, Moonia, Kawin Gang of me, and I met the morgue, win Manuch and Sutagwang, where we're not and Sutot and when we mark Ganan, Uganan, where Chisha, Witten of Kintiot, where we're me watch and the kit. I'll get in not a scan of a sumstuck. Wabanong where the geeses, Kabun Sasagin Grandet, Mukang, the Sogigashap, me watch kitten and gaggy no, the Mishumsak. Or I guess shall no gaggy no gammy watch kitten and them, the Mishumsak Kanamatabiak, Manu chip me, Apaga cab meang, Chipa carbon the mang, an ingani night nigan, Janishap Musiang, where wena, Chamanachi yang, Chishawen yang. On Gweka, where the gag, Ningabio Nanga we no ga, Bushkasu again the bed, Menanakondan. Me watch the cat where yet no, me watch the naka and in the machine socket and amatabio. Manutation of Meshaganashim, Kananish, Kakanayan Sotazin, Homa, Kapman, Nibway. Good morning, my dear relatives. Good morning to all the chiefs, Prime Minister, good morning, and to all the delegates that are here this morning. I am deeply honored that I was given the opportunity and the honor to say the opening prayer here this morning. It is a very eventful day, a very historic day, something that our chiefs have been working towards, and to the gentleman that has gifted this building, I thank you, Miigwech, from the bottom of our hearts. I also want to acknowledge my name and the way that the Creator gave me. For me, that is what guides me. Is my name and the way that we have been taught by our ancestors and what they have left for us. And as they told us never to forget who you are and always be proud of who you are, that you and the Creator gave us a very beautiful way of life. My name is Strong Standing Golden Eagle Woman and also Lead and Cloud. I acknowledge my names. I also acknowledge our great Creator, the Great Spirit, for this beautiful day. For the day that we have been given another day, the breath of life, because as our elders tell us, tomorrow is never promised. So we must walk in kindness every day as best as we can and be humble, walk in a humble way. I acknowledge all the leaders that are here and the young people and the new chiefs that just got in. Kyra Wilson, Chief Kyra Wilson, and Chief Gord Blue Sky. I acknowledge you as well. Today, again, I want to also add that, yesterday and today they said that it's Earth Day. For us as Anishinaabe people, Dakota, Innuit, or wherever you come from, we view as every day as Earth Day, and that we always want to ensure that the way the water was a long time ago when Creator first put us here, to ensure that those clean waters will be there for our young ones, because we are not only thinking about us today, but we're also thinking about the ones that are yet to be born. So that we need to leave something behind and to keep our lands and the earth clean, and to be mindful that we don't throw garbage on our mother, the earth, Because when we throw garbage on Mother the Earth, we are throwing garbage on our mothers, the women that gave birth to us. So I want to acknowledge giving thanks to the animal life, the plant life, the water life, the medicines that grow and help heal us as nations. I want to acknowledge our grandfathers that sit in all those directions. In the east, where the sun rises every day, as that sun shines on all of us equally, not only just myself, but everybody. My late father used to tell me, when you walk out your door and open your door, when that sun shines on you, that sun is very happy to see you. And so that's what I do every morning. You know, when that sun comes up, I greet that sun and I say my prayers in a good way. I acknowledge the grandfathers that sit in the south, the west, and the north. And I acknowledge all the waters. And again, I ask prayers for our leaders and the relationships and the partnerships that are built today and every day, that you are guided through your hearts, through spirit, that we do things in a good way for our young ones, for our children. I have grandchildren, I have 10, and then there's another one on its way. So with that, I want to say and thank you again for giving me the honor to say the opening prayer. In a humble way, I thank you and I greet all of you. Miigwech.
It is my privilege to introduce SCO Grand Chief Jerry Daniels, a proud member of Long Plain First Nation and a proud father to son Angelo Daniels, who is here today along with the Grand Chief's mother, brother, and nieces. Grand Chief Daniels has dedicated himself to bringing people together to improve the quality of life for the Anishinaabe and Dakota nations through initiatives including economic development and self-sufficiency, health transformation, restorative justice, water and environment, and a reclaiming of the welfare of our children as envisioned by the Southern First Nations. Today is a day of celebration as we achieve a milestone and begin a new way forward. Please welcome Grand Chief Daniels.
Bonjour, Denoe Magidok. Miigwech Gishimani Tunungum, Hogimam Kodesh Nakas, Garnushtiag Dunji, Benasi Dudim. I want to thank our Creator for another beautiful day. I want to thank Elder Mary May Washing for the pipe ceremony, the water ceremony, and also for the prayer that she offered us today. Thank you so much, Mary, for your guidance. And all of our elders and knowledge keepers who have prayed for us and guided us and who are resilient in ensuring that our people are here today and that our children would have a future, one that is prosperous and filled with opportunity. Thank you to the leadership, the chiefs who are here, too many to name, but we have 34 in our region and many across the country, women, men, young youth. Our youth chief is here, our female youth chief, our male youth chief. Thank you. Thank you to my goddaughter, DeAndre, my son who's here, my mother. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you to our chiefs, executive, who without their support and guidance, we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do. Thank you to these very powerful and strong women who have really guided us and carried the work. Joy Kramer and Jennifer Ratchway, thank you so much for the work that you do. And our management team and the administration of our organization, we are not able to do this work without strong, dedicated people. And in our organization is led by women. If you see the women in our office and the work that they do, they are the guides and the leaders in our community. And they are able to make me able to come up here and announce and just spend time with the rest of the leadership from across the country. So thank you so much. Governor Baker, thank you, and thank the team from Hudson's Bay, all of you, your communications team, your managers, Thank you all for the work that you've been doing for us in terms of not only working to transfer the building, but also in supporting sort of the visionary and also pushing us. You know, Governor Baker has really, tried to push us to think further, to think bigger. And I've really appreciated that because I'm a big believer in that. And I believe in that because our children deserve that. Our children deserve the best possible future that we can bring. And I'm so thankful that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is here, Premier Stephenson, Dan Vandel. You know, your support and your leadership and contribution to what we're doing here is so important. And I know that it's more than just today. It's more than a building. It's about the people in this building. It's about the lives that are going to be impacted over the years. And so I want to say thank you. And I want to now move to my actual notes. Today is a good day to gather. I would like to begin by thanking our Creator and for guiding our guests in a safe journey here to the Hudson's Bay Company Heritage Building, to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Treaty 1 territory. We are joined today by many special guests and dignitaries, our treaty partners, who have taken meaningful action when it comes to reconciliation. I want to thank Ian Putman as well. I can't miss Ian Putman, who I know was mentioned, Roger Duffy, Ryan Barnier, Aaron Nairn, Tiffany Bourret. Welcome to also the Minister of Housing and Diversity and Inclusion, the Honourable Minister Ahmed Hussein, Minister of Indigenous Services, the Honourable Patty Haydu. Thank you so much for being here. I want to also acknowledge Mayor Brian Bowman. Thank you so much for joining us and also for your leadership here in the city and the really addressing the racism, institutional racism, and for bringing many of the community organizations and businesses to address that and to commit to making changes within their businesses and companies. A special thank you as well to our senior project advisors, Dr. Phil Fontaine and Dr. Lloyd Axworthy. Without their vision, no vision is possible. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. To our friends and members of the media who are here, thank you for telling the story of the vision that was met with action. A story of the resilience, courage, and tenacity of our people to build a better future with our partners for generations to come. Wawane Bagakinagon. It is visible. And we can agree that reconciliation is not just a word. It is meant to have action. And this is an example of that action. Today, we are showing through our work and through our agreement that this is what we are doing. 289 units of safe, affordable accommodations to address the crisis and dire shortage of First Nations housing. Up to 500 people will find shelter and opportunity for success here. It is a place for our elders with meal service, on-site medical attention, incorporation of both Western and traditional healing to create optimal wellness. They will be supported and will continue to share their wisdom here and guidance of our cultural values, languages, and traditions. A place for our children and youth to be cared for and supported for their dreams to grow, to lead and prosper as proud First Nations people. A place for artists to create and healers to heal. A place for good governance by becoming the future governance house of the chiefs of the Southern First Nations in Manitoba, where collaborative decision-making based on shared priorities and best practices will continue to lead us in a good and respectful way. This place is a place to be honored and supportive of First Nations people, our rich history, and invite all who wish to come and learn together that it is visible. Wewe na Bagakinagon. I look forward to hearing from our partners this morning as we honor and commemorate this new day, a day where we can reflect on the past and commit to this bold vision of the future that we can journey towards together. With that, miigwech wapera.
Thank you so much, Grand Chief. It is such a joy and a pleasure and an honor every day to work for you. So it's such a blessing. So Egosani, thank you from my heart. As Grand Chief mentioned, yesterday when we welcomed Governor Baker and our honored HBC guests to our territory, we began in ceremony. Our knowledge is carried through oral traditions and stories, and it is a sacred responsibility to be a keeper of our oral history. Sophia Smoke attended our ceremony yesterday.
Sophia is from the Dakota Nation, and she is a 14-year-old jingle dress dancer who has carried the responsibility of the healing dress since the age of 3 and was brought into the circle by 4 grandmothers. Sophia is a staunch advocate for the preservation of the Dakota language and Indigenous rights.
She spends her Fridays with her paternal, this is going to make me cry too, her paternal grandmother learning the language and customs of the Dakota, which is as it should be. Sophia was chosen as our oral historian to carry the story of today forward to our communities and to future generations, and she will now share the story of yesterday's ceremony. Sophia, if we can please invite you up, and if you can give her a warm welcome.
Ha oyate, dedia hipiki awas na pechi yizapi, and petua shechana hinape, amakiapi, wana de ya, wana yetu a keto pachamacha, the Dakota Plains of Petu oyate, hechia dawa hahi. Itancha orval smoke unkawa he, Donna Pratt kunshiwaya, Itancha Donnie smoke atewaya he, Joan smoking awaya, Miechu de pramaya, Dakota makochia hipi kinwashteya. Hello everyone, my friends and relatives, I shake all of your hands. My name means a beautiful sunrise and there's a good day coming. My English name is Sophia Smoke. I'm 14 years old and I'm from the Dakota Plains First Nation. My grandfather was Chief Orville Smoke. My father is Chief Donnie Smoke. My Kushi is Donna Pratt and my mother is Joan Smoke. I wanted to thank you all for inviting me here today. I'm truly honored. And I wanted to give a very special welcome to Mr. Prime Minister Trudeau on behalf of the Indigenous Youth of Canada. I'm here today to share with you my experience. Yesterday, I was given the opportunity to participate in both a water ceremony and a pipe ceremony, both led by Mary May Tuayashing, whom I thank. To my people, the lifting of a chinupa is the creation of a covenant. For many years, the chinupa, the pipe, connected many different tribes across the land, and now we build bridges with our non-Indigenous counterparts. Historically, many agreements were not made in our traditional way. This experience was different. It was led by our grandmothers and our grandfathers, and today there is no mistaking that we are changing the course of history for good. So thank you to the people of the Hudson's Bay Company for your wholehearted participation. During the ceremony, we prayed together, each in our own ways. I truly got shivers as I had begun to realize that this is so much bigger than any of us will ever understand. We will only understand when it is written in the history books. My grandchildren will understand and feel the impact of this sooner than I will. We are rewriting our history. I come as a humble ambassador of the Indigenous Youth of Canada, and to my brothers and to my sisters, today our grandparents' prayers have been answered, and this is just the beginning. This is only the beginning of our journey towards reconciliation. May we go strong and brave together as the next generation of leaders in this movement. This is our future. May it be bright and prosperous in our hands. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who made this possible today. Taya unwo paramaya. I wish you well. Thank you.
That is our future.
When I phoned Chief Smoke to talk to him if we would be able to ask Sophia, he said, well, I'll have to wait for her to come home. She's out at her beading class. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I'm very fortunate that I was able to talk to Chief Smoke and he talked to his daughter and she is here today. So Chimigwech, Sophia, thank you.
We planned really well, but we didn't bring Kleenex up here, so that's the only thing I'm missing up here. We would like to bring you back up to the stage, Sophia, and I'm going to also call some other youth who will come up to the stage to be witnesses to the rent ceremony. So I would also like to invite, and whoever's comfortable coming, Angelo Daniels, DeAndrea Desjarlais, Kashta Desjarlais, Jacob Kramer, Caitlin Prince, Sophia Smoke, Wasea Soldier, Henry Putnam, Charlie Putnam, and Roman Danusser. You're welcome to come up and we'll show you where to stand. As everyone makes their way here, I will share that the Hudson's Bay Company Royal Charter stated that the rent of 2 beaver and 2 elk was to be paid by the company whenever a British monarch visited Canada. The ceremony surrounding the payment has only been performed 4 times in HBC's history. What you will now witness is a new version of that historic ceremony where Grand Chief Daniels, supported by the Chief's Executive Committee members, will present Governor Richard Baker, the 39th governor of the Hudson's Bay Company, with ceremonial black beaver pelts and elk hides. We would like to acknowledge, and I need to take just a second to do this, the incredible Sean Vincent, the founder of Vincent Design, an Indigenous design firm that created the SCO panels on the windows that you would have seen outside coming in, the flag you saw as you entered the building, the backdrop you see behind us, the beautiful programs for our event today, all based on the stunning floral motif that is inspired by the plants and the medicines that sustain us. Well, Sean prepared the beaver pelts and elk skins for this day, and he brought them to ceremony with Mary yesterday. The pelts and the skins have been specifically printed with the floral design and the story of this historic moment. So I'm now going to invite Grand Chief Daniels up here to read what is on the skins so that you will all know. So I'm just going to invite you up, Grand Chief, to read this. Thank you.
The ceremonial beaver pelt and elk hide represent the turning point of our collective history. On May 2nd, 1670, King Charles II of England, through proclamation of the Royal Charter, gave the Hudson's Bay Company an exclusive trading monopoly of lands that are the traditional territories of the First Nations people and have been since the first sunrise. Every Anishinaabe and Dakota nation within the Southern Chiefs organization was forever changed. The British Crown required the payment of rent in the form of 2 elk hides and 2 beaver pelts when their heirs and successors visited the territory, now known as Canada. With the exchange of the elk and beaver, Southern Chiefs organization is reclaiming the rent ceremony, and together with the Hudson's Bay Company, we are leading change and reconciliation. This marks the beginning of a new future for First Nations peoples and for all Canadians.
I would like to now invite Chief Hudson, Chief McLean, and Chief Prince to come forward to present the pelts and hides to Grand Chief. Grand Chief will now present those gifts to Governor Baker, reclaiming the rent ceremony.
If you can stand up, Governor Baker.
Jesse.
Yes. As we do the handover, we are going to ask Jessie to sing her song.
Name
Now, as Grand Chief has made his presentation, Governor Baker is now going to present a rare gold coin to Grand Chief Daniels. The coin is a replica of the original trade exchange currency between HBC and First Nations. It is also a symbol of his commitment to gift this iconic building to SCO. Jesse, I will ask you to sing again, please.
Amazing.
Amazing. You really feel it here. So thank you so much. That was just beautiful. Thank you to the Governor, Grand Chiefs, our witnesses. Our witnesses may now take their seats if you would like, or you can stand there, and that's great too. But if you want to take your seats, that is even better. For more than a year, as mentioned, we have been working with Governor Baker and his incredible team to breathe life into this dream. The governor has supported this project, challenged and encouraged us, and has been a champion, a true champion for reconciliation. We could not have a better partner. Governor Baker, it is my great pleasure to invite you to the podium to bring your remarks.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Joy. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. We are grateful to be gathered today on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Innu, Oji-Cree, Dene, and Dakota, and the birthplace of Métis Nation. We also acknowledge the Inuit who make Winnipeg their home. It's an honor to join Grand Chief and colleagues from the Southern Chiefs organization, as well as leaders from all orders of government. Prime Minister Trudeau, Premier Stephenson, Mayor Bowman, Ministers Haidu, Hudson, and Vandal for the historic announcement. Also, we welcome and appreciate seeing Dr. Phil Fontaine and Dr. Lloyd Axworthy and the many chiefs who have honored us today with their presence. Founded more than 350 years ago, Hudson's Bay Company is the oldest company in Canada, in North America, in fact. And while we are proud of our longevity, HBC played a definitive role in the colonization of Canada. The impact of our company's history is not at all lost on me, and it is part of the reason we are all here today. Meaningful reconciliation is a long and difficult path. Entrenched racism across systems and institutions, intergenerational trauma, and centuries of inequality don't leave us at one moment. I've been personally shaken by stories of the forcible integration of Indigenous people into the Canadian culture by separating them from their families and communities and placing them in boarding schools, a practice that continued until not long ago. These things cannot be remedied by a single action, a single promise, or a single speech. Instead, they demand real effort from everyone, the state, the church, businesses, and a society as a whole to facilitate much-needed healing. We must meet our words with actions. This is why I know that this dedication about this building is the right one. The Southern Chiefs organization has a revolutionary vision for this iconic space and what it can bring to the city of Winnipeg and to the province of Manitoba. Where we stand now will become a hub for governance and culture, heritage and healing, commerce and care. Today's announcement is just one part of HBC's broader commitment to reconciliation, a commitment that includes careful development of a truth and reconciliation framework for how we operate as an organization, both internally and externally. Our approach to reconciliation will continue to be thoughtful and deliberate, informed by and led by Indigenous peoples. As you know, this building is one of the original 6 Hudson's Bay department stores in Canada. Built in 1923, this historic downtown landmark has served as the backdrop for nearly a century of memory making. This place has provided jobs for generations of Winnipeggers, fed many in the beloved Paddle Wheel restaurant, hosted friends on weekend outings, and captured the buzz and excitement of the holiday season. It's long been a central hub for the community, not merely a store, but rather a place to gather, a place to form friendships. At some points, and for some people, like Winnipeggers Ruth and John Schroeder, who first met in this building in 1942 and married soon after, it was even a place to fall in love. And so, it's not a stretch to say that this building is an integral part of the city. It matters deeply to the people who live here, and they've been quick to remind us of that. Since we closed the doors, and even before, locals have been asking about this flagship HBC location, wondering what we had planned for it. A little nervous, but genuinely hoping for its best future. Today's announcement is an important one that I'm confident will shape Winnipeg for decades to come. Winnipeg was an important part of HBC's past, and it will remain an important part of our future. We are deeply committed to this city and its people, and we continue to work in partnership at every opportunity. We will continue to serve the Winnipeg community as a retailer at our Hudson's Bay locations in Polo Park and St. Vital, and of course, through thebay.com. The key difference now is that the work being done here in this building will be driven by First Nations. This will be a legacy-defining project created by community for community. The Hudson's Bay Company is both humbled and grateful to be able to take on a leadership role as we hope to be joined by other Canadian corporations so that we together can participate in reconciliation. SCO has a strong, viable, thoughtful plan. I know that there is no better group to take stewardship of this space and truly make it their own. To everyone at the Southern Chiefs organization, we wish you every success in bringing this incredible project to life. We are inspired by your vision. We are honored to be your collaborators in this effort, and we are proud to have you at the helm. Today, we recognize the impact of our past and vow to work in partnership to build a better future. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. I would like to invite skilled beater Joanne Soldier, DeAndre, and Kashta Desjarlais to assist the Grand Chief. Can you come up now, please? Grand Chief Daniels is presenting Governor Baker with a traditional beaver hat in recognition of the relationship now and into the future. Beaver was selected as it was one of the animals on the HBC coat of arms and the animal that began the fur trade. The beating features the paw of the Grand Chief's bear, and through this, the Grand Chief will share his bear with the Governor. Grand Chief's traditional name is Ogamamakwa, and Makwa means bear.
Perfection. What amazing skilled beadwork too. Joanne, thank you so much for sharing your gifts. The Governor is now going to gift an historic print to the Grand Chief. And the image is called the Map of Manitoba Lake. It was created by Peter Fiddler in 1819. It is a coastal map of Lake Manitoba, the Assiniboine River, and part of Lake Winnipeg. Beautiful, thank you. Wonderful. So I would now like to invite the Spirit Horse drummers to provide an honor song.
Miigwech. Woo! Thank you, Spirit Horse. Our vision for this building is one of affordable housing, childcare, assisted living for our elders, healthcare, a museum, a gallery, a governance house, and a place of reconciliation and healing where First Nations and non-Indigenous peoples can come together. A place also to remember the children who did not make it home and to honor our survivors. This would not have been possible without the support of the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau. It is now my pleasure to invite Prime Minister of Canada to the podium.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to begin by recognizing the land on which we gather as Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Dakota, Dene, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. Elders, Grand Chief Daniels, Premier Stephenson, Mayor Bowman, Dr. Lloyd Axworthy, Dr. Phil Fontaine, I'm very happy to be with you all for this historic day. And it is extremely good to be here with Richard Baker, the CEO of the Hudson's Bay Company. Merci aussi à l'Organisation des chefs du Sud de nous donner la chance d'être ici aujourd'hui ensemble pour ce moment historique. Wewene Pagakanagan. Wewene Pagakanawan. That's the name of this new initiative. What it means is it is visible. Today's announcement is reconciliation in action. For the Southern Chiefs organization to become the new stewards of the Hudson's Bay building in downtown Winnipeg is an inspiring and inspired act of reclamation. I want to thank everyone who made this possible, for your leadership, for your creativity, for your innovation, for your determination. And thank you for asking us all to join you, not just those in this room, but those watching from coast to coast to coast on this historic day of reconciliation. J'aimerais aussi remercier les membres de mon équipe qui sont ici aujourd'hui, les ministres Vandal, Haidu et Hudson, ainsi que nos députés manitobains, Terry Duguid, Kevin Lamoureux, and the Honourable Jim Carr, qui ont défendu cette initiative avec beaucoup d'énergie. On va tous rester des partenaires de la communauté pendant la mise en œuvre de ce projet. This is a historic and symbolic day, but it's also much more than just symbolism. The revitalization of the HBC building will have real positive impacts on First Nations people here in the city. And it will have positive impacts on Winnipeg's downtown core, too, creating jobs and economic prosperity. To support this transformative project, our government will invest $65 million. This investment will create almost 300 new affordable housing units. Les familles qui vont vivre dans l'édifice rénové et les employés qui vont y travailler auront accès à des services de garde de qualité sur place. Et une partie des logements va être réservée aux aînés des Premières Nations qui pourront avoir des services adaptés à leur culture. J'ai vu les images des plans pour la transformation de l'immeuble, avec un musée, une galerie d'art et des restaurants. Et je peux vous dire que ça va être un très bel espace. Tout le monde au Canada devrait avoir un chez-soi sûr et abordable. C'est une priorité pour notre gouvernement. Et dans le budget présenté il y a 2 semaines, on a investi plus de 4 milliards de dollars en nouveaux fonds pour que les familles autochtones ait accès à plus de logements. We're also investing to co-develop and launch an urban, rural, and northern Indigenous housing strategy, something many in this room have long advocated for. We're continuing our work with Indigenous communities across the country to help ensure that everyone has a safe and affordable place to call home. I also want to wish everyone a happy Earth Day today. From preserving nature to fighting climate change and delivering clean air, our government will continue to protect the environment and support Indigenous climate priorities. Our work to protect nature and fight climate change is shared. And we know that we have much to learn from Indigenous peoples for whom, as it was pointed out a couple of times, every day is Earth Day. Today's announcement is more than just about a building. It's actually about rebuilding. Rebuilding trust, rebuilding landmarks, rebuilding relationships. Winnipeg has the largest Indigenous population of any city in Canada, and I know that today's project will inspire people from coast to coast to coast. The history of the Hudson's Bay Company is a long one in this country, woven in inextricably with the story of Indigenous peoples and the story of the need for reconciliation. This moment today is a tangible example of the kinds of steps that are being made in communities across the country between Indigenous and non-Indigenous partners. This is a big action and example of reconciliation, and an important one that's gathering lots of attention. But every single day, in communities large and small across the country, in neighborhoods, in relations between individuals, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, reconciliation happens. It's not just about the big moments. It's about all the moments in between and the role that each and every one of us has to play in building the kind of present and the kind of future that these extraordinary young people who were gathered on stage a little earlier, and all those young people who will be impacted by what happens here today for years and generations to come. It has to be about them. That's what we are focused on. So all of you gathered here today, you can be deeply proud of what you have accomplished. And I know that this new space and this new relationship will serve as a blueprint for people across the country for generations to come. It will be visible. Thank you. Merci. Pidamaye Miigwech.
Thank you, Prime Minister. I understand you're going to gift Governor Baker and Grand Chief.
So my sister's family, Tracy, beaded these medallions, and we wanted to give them to some of the people who are really a part of making sure that this happens. And so thank you, Justin and Prime Minister, for for being here. And this is a medallion that says every child matters. So we'll remember that the work that was done here was for the children in the future.
Well, that was so beautiful. Egosani, thank you. Merci beaucoup, Prime Minister. Some very beautiful words, so thank you so much. Well, when we began to work on this project, affordable housing was an essential element. Safe and affordable housing is the foundation that allows us to have a stable life, that allows us to go to school and to work and to raise our families. We are so deeply grateful to the Honorable Ahmed Hussein, who took the time to meet with us, to learn about our project, sounded excited. It was a very important Zoom meeting, and we remember it very well. We would not be here without you, and we look forward to hearing from you now. So if we can invite you to the stage. Egosani.
Merci, Monsieur Premier Ministre. Merci, Madame la Première Ministre. Bonjour tout le monde. I'd like to also begin by acknowledging that the land in which we're gathered today is in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Oji-Cree, the Dakota, the Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. And I have to say that although we've been making a lot of important housing announcements over the last little while, I can tell you that all of us recognize that today stands for something quite important and historic. And I think the Prime Minister said it best. It is reconciliation in action. We're building more than homes today. En bâtir un avenir qui protège un héritage. Et nous reconnaissons l'importance de ces logements. These homes aren't just four walls and a roof. They're a place where dreams are made and hopes and aspirations are realized. Mais nous reconnaissons également les défis uniques auxquels font face les Premières Nations. And we know this investment to renovate this historic Hudson's Bay Company building through the National Housing Co-Investment Fund right here in Winnipeg will have an impact on almost 300 families for generations to come. These homes will help ensure that Indigenous elders, parents, working families, those at risk of homelessness, and many others will have a safe and affordable place to call home for many, many years to come. Quel moment historique. What a historic moment. And I am very, very grateful, and I will be eternally grateful to have been part of this and to join you here today. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Miigwech.
Minister Hussein? Grand Chief has a gift for you.
Thank you, Minister Hussein, for your leadership. And we also wanted to give you one of these medallions that my family had made for you. So when you go forward, you'll always remember that this was for the children. And so thank you.
Thank you, Minister Hussein. Our next speaker is the Honourable Patty Hadu, who is receptive and very interested in hearing about our project and our dream of what might be possible. We are so appreciative that you took the time to be here today to celebrate with us, Miigwech, and I would like to invite you to the podium to bring your remarks.
Hello, Anine, Tamshi, bonjour. It's so exciting to be here with all of you. Thank you to Elder Mary for starting us off in a good way, and to the drum groups for your incredible and moving music. To the Prime Minister, thank you for leading our country into the vision of reconciliation. And to Sophie Smoke, who I don't think there was a dry eye in the audience as you spoke. Your oral history moved us all tremendously. Thank you for your vision and your leadership. And you're right, today we are creating history, but I have no doubt you will be creating history all along the way. It's so moving, isn't it, to see reconciliation in action. And the Prime Minister's right, it is an action, and it is a journey. And we must recommit daily, each one of us, to examine every space, every place, every individual way that we can use our power, small and large, to be agents of change. Today is indeed historic, but the space itself will be healing because it's going to create homes. A home is foundational to people's safety. Some people will finally be safe. That's what this means today. To the Governor and to the Hudson's Bay Company, thank you for sharing with Canada the importance of corporate reconciliation. Your leadership is a shining example for others. Congratulations to Grand Chief Jerry Daniels and the Southern Chiefs Association organization and everyone else who has worked incredibly hard to make this happen. Your leadership and your determination and your persistence is inspiring to me, and I know it is to others. It's an honor to be here. Chi miigwech.
Our next speaker is well known to us and well known to Manitobans, and we are so pleased that he is sharing his gift with Canada in his important role as Minister of Northern Affairs and the Minister responsible for Prairie's economic development, and I know you have other titles as well. The Honourable Dan Vandel took time on several occasions to provide advice and guidance, and he truly became our champion. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the podium now.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor to be here on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Cree, Dakota, homeland of the Métis Nation, for this absolutely incredible announcement. C'est tellement un grand plaisir d'être ici au nom du gouvernement du Canada pour ce projet qui est tellement important pour notre ville, notre province et notre pays et les Premières Nations aussi. I want to begin by saluting Grand Chief Jerry Daniels for being such a strong and effective partner, an honorable partner who follows through on our commitments and such a great leader. And of course, Prime Minister Trudeau, Minister Haidu and Hussein for very quickly realizing the importance of this project to Winnipeg, to Manitoba, to Canada, and moving quickly to really make this happen. I also want to acknowledge the incredible efforts of Manitoba Caucus, Honourable Jim Carr, Kevin Lamoureux, Terry Duguid. I know that this would not have moved as quickly as it did without your constant advocacy all over the Ottawa ecosystem, so I thank all of you for your great work. The history of this building is really imprinted on the history of Winnipeg and the history of Canada at so many levels. We all remember, many of us are hometowners here. We remember coming to Portage Avenue to watch a movie or to walk through the Bay or walk through Eaton's. Well, the Eaton's is now the MTS Center where the Winnipeg Jets play, and this is going to make us just as proud. But it's a complicated history. And this is a positive story, nothing but. And not just anything can go here. I'm really pleased to know that with all of our collective efforts that this will be a transition space for Indigenous peoples to grow and to thrive. And it's really the heart of reconciliation. This project will breathe new life into our community. It will give Anishinaabe and Dene First Nations a safe and a welcoming place to build a strong and prosperous future in the downtown of Winnipeg on Portage Avenue, and we all know how important that is. It's concrete progress to close the housing gaps between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples, and that's something that is really at the heart of reconciliation. Il y a encore beaucoup à faire, mais avec des partenariats avec les Southern Chiefs, la province fédérale, la ville de Winnipeg, on va en faire même plus. Winnipeg has traditionally been a gathering place where First Nations and Métis came together to share ideas, to honor traditions, to share heritage, and today's announcement is a credit to that legacy. Today is historic, and this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. Miigwech, thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Minister Vendel. I'm so pleased to introduce our next speaker, because without her support, we would not have been able to realize this project. The Honourable Heather Stephenson has quickly shown in her time as new Premier that First Nations peoples and issues are critical to her, and that she is committed to reconciliation. It is my pleasure to invite the Premier of Manitoba to the podium.
Thank you so much, Joy, and thank you, Jennifer, as well, for just everything, putting this whole thing together today. It's just so incredibly moving to be a part of the history here. And I just want to say before I start as well, I want to thank the youth that came up and did the land acknowledgement for us this morning. And I just want to thank the drummers. Absolutely wonderful, and thank you for your participation today. And Elder Mary, not sure where you are, but thank you so much for that beautiful opening prayer. Absolutely wonderful. And to Sophia, my goodness, there really wasn't a dry eye, including me here today. And you are a true inspiration. You are the future of our province, the future of our country, and I can tell you we will be in good hands with your leadership in the future. Grand Chief Daniels, Governor Baker, Chiefs, Dr. Phil Fontaine, Dr. Lloyd Axworthy, to everyone who's here that's been a part of this incredible day. This is true reconciliation and action. Grand Chief, you said it. Prime Minister, you said it. But it's important to say it again and again and again and continue to say that, because it is so important for the future of our city, our province, and our country. And I'm just so incredibly, deeply honored and humbled to be a part of this today. It's inspiring to see one of Winnipeg's most iconic buildings be re-envisioned into a place of new hope and opportunities. With new social and economic opportunities, this project will be incredibly valuable to downtown Winnipeg and the future of our province as a whole. I think I can speak for everyone here today that is exciting to hear the vision and plans for the future of this building, a place where we will continue to gather. Since I became Premier in November, I have made it clear that reconciliation is a top priority of mine and our government. We are committed to listening, learning, walking the path of reconciliation, and to working collaboratively together to advance social and economic opportunities for Indigenous peoples throughout our province. And so it gives me great pleasure to share with you our government's investment to support two initiatives of this multi-use project. First, we are allocating $10 million to support the affordable housing component of the redevelopment. Our provincial contribution will support up to 200 mixed income units for families, students, and elders. And secondly, we are providing $25 million through the Bay Building Fund to support the preservation of the heritage elements of this historic building. So we are proud to provide a total of $35 million to support this social and economic reconciliation project. The iconic Hudson Bay Building is part of our province's heritage and the social fabric of downtown Winnipeg. Our government is so pleased to see this unique partnership an act of reconciliation move forward that will certainly have a positive impact on the redevelopment of this landmark building and vibrant neighborhood, while also supporting our collective commitment to work collaboratively with Indigenous communities to build a better, brighter future for all Manitobans. I have no doubt that this endeavor will be incredibly successful. We are truly excited to see this building take on new life, and I look forward to seeing all the exciting opportunities that will come with it. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this incredibly moving ceremony today. Thank you, Grand Chief. Thank you, Governor. It's just indeed an honor for me to be here on behalf of our provincial government and on behalf of all Manitobans. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.
I just want to provide one of our Every Child Matters medallions for you. It's an honor to have you supporting this project, and we look forward to your leadership in the many months and years to come.
Well, thank you so much, Premier Stephenson. An ambitious project like revisioning this iconic building does not happen without the support of the City of Winnipeg. And from day one, we have had such enthusiastic support for Mayor Bowman and his team at City Hall. It is my great pleasure to invite His Worship Brian Bowman to the podium to bring his remarks. Thank you.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Wow, what a day. It might be raining outside, but the sun's shining very bright in here indeed. Thank you very much for that introduction, Jennifer. And I too want to begin by acknowledging we're on Treaty 1 and Dakota Nations territory and the homeland of the Métis. As it's been said, today is a historic day. And I am so honored to be here with leaders from Southern Chiefs Organization, federal and provincial governments, and the Hudson Bay Company. On a personal level, as Canada's first Indigenous mayor of a major Canadian city, this is incredibly meaningful for me today as well. We stand together to move Canada's journey of reconciliation forward, and in doing so, continue to transform Winnipeg's downtown. On October 2nd, 2020, as Winnipeg was entering the second wave of the global pandemic, HBC announced that this landmark location, first opened in the 1920s, would permanently close. Due to changes we'd all witnessed in retail and downtowns across the country, this wasn't entirely a surprise. Still, the news of its closure was difficult for many reasons, including the fond memories so many Winnipeggers, including myself, have of this building and what it's meant for our city and our downtown. I spent many winter seasons traveling in a really old, beat-up Pontiac coming from Charleswood in southwestern Winnipeg to see the displays, beautiful displays in the windows over the holiday season. Incredible memories that I and so many other Winnipeggers have. But when one door closes, another opens. This location is prime real estate in our downtown, and its closing has offered an opportunity to reimagine how it could continue to have significance for our city. It's why I formed the Bay Downtown Advisory Committee soon after the announcement was made that HBC's doors would close. The committee, chaired by Dana Spiring, CEO of Economic Development Winnipeg, was asked to simply engage in discussions with HBC and community stakeholders to explore future use opportunities like residential, commercial, educational, cultural, social, and public service options. Most importantly, they were tasked with trying to find the most optimal use for the building and prioritize a plan that could ensure to the greatest extent possible the long-term economic sustainability of the site. Earlier today, I was really pleased to inform members of the Bay Downtown Advisory Committee their work is complete. And I want to thank the committee chair and all the members of the committee, including my council colleague, Councillor Rowlands, for their efforts over the last year and a half to make sure that the conversation about this historic landmark would not stall. During that time, we saw the windows boarded up on the building, the very windows where these beautiful displays were set up over the years for Winnipeggers to enjoy. And that struck a chord with Winnipeggers, and through collaborative discussions with HBC and the Winnipeg Art Gallery just across the street, and subsequent funding from governments, including $10,000 from my office budget, the boards were replaced by art created by Indigenous artists. Unbeknownst at the time, but this would foreshadow today's announcement. At the Geographic Centre of Canada, Winnipeg is leading the way forward on Canada's journey of reconciliation. Today's announcement is a demonstration that we're all on the right path. After years of searching for a new vision to revitalize the Hudson Bay Heritage Building in downtown Winnipeg, I'm so proud to participate in today's announcement of a vision led by Southern Chiefs Organization, supported by the Hudson Bay Company and both levels of government. Thank you to our Prime Minister and our Premier. This is an incredible investment in Winnipeg and, of course, in our reconciliation efforts that we all share. One of the greatest challenges for our generation will be how we respond to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action. Today, we're demonstrating, we're answering the call, but we're doing it together. The symbolism in today's event should not be ignored. To have the Southern Chiefs Organization bring together the Prime Minister of Canada, the Premier of Manitoba, myself, and so many others for today's announcement of funding is incredibly significant for reconciliation efforts here in Winnipeg and across Canada. I want to applaud and acknowledge Grand Chief Jerry Daniels and the Southern Chiefs Organization for their incredible leadership and vision for this building and for our community. I also want to applaud the corporate leadership that we're witnessing here today from the Governor and Hudson Bay Company. This should inspire corporate Canada from coast to coast to coast to step up and follow their lead. Thank you very much. And I also want to thank, of course, our federal and our provincial governments for their incredible investments here today. Today is a very positive milestone for our city and for our country. Let's keep going. Thank you. Merci et miigwech.
Mayor, for your leadership and for the addressing the very difficult task of changing the narrative in this city. And I know racism is a challenge for all of us all around the country. And thank you for your leadership in bringing the community together to address it dead on and really for the accord that really is holding different organizations and leaders from the city accountable. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bowman. I would ask Destiny Seymour, Rihanna Moracity to the stage for the gifting ceremony. I'm also asking DeAndre, Kashta Desjarlais, Sophia Smoke, and Messiah Soldier to also come to the stage. As First Nations people, we are taught to show our appreciation, and so I would like to ask all of our speakers, the Prime Minister Trudeau, Premier Stephenson, Minister Hudson, Minister Haidu, Minister Vandell, and Mayor Bowman to come up to the stage together to be honored. The blankets that are being gifted to our special guests were designed by Anishinaabe interior designer Destiny Seymour.
As we are getting set up here, I do need to share and do want to share because our special guests need to know that Destiny, who's up here and will be helping to blanket you, she founded Indigo Arrows, and she has created limited edition moon blankets made of linen and cotton. SCO has commissioned these blankets that incorporate a piece of fabric printed with the SCO Flora logo, and each has a white leather patch with these words, On this historic day, the Southern Chiefs Organization and the Hudson's Bay Company demonstrate their desire to advance reconciliation and build a new future, one with hope and opportunity for all. I would ask our beautiful helpers to wrap and blanket our wonderful, that would be wonderful, yes. Prime Minister has taken charge, that's great. Maybe just a wee bit more space so we can blanket you. Thank you. Wonderful. HBC also has a special gift to mark the moment, paddles that have been sustainably crafted in Canada. Thank you, Tiffany. The gold spear form is representative of the sun, a symbol of peace and healing. The HBC stripes reflect the company's brand presence and history. Each paddle is crafted by Natasha Whitkey of certified cherry wood, hand-carved and painted. And Jesse Eagle is going to gift us with an honor song as soon as our guests have their paddles. Yes. So HBC would like to acknowledge Chief Hudson, Chief McLean, and Chief Prince, and ask them to come forward to receive the original red HBC blanket to mark the occasion. So we're going to have to ask everybody to huddle in. We know you like each other, and they will be presented. Beautiful. Now, if we could ask, while everybody's standing, if you don't mind scooting forward a little bit, that's perfect. If we could now absolutely ask Governor if you could step into the picture in the middle, that would be wonderful. This is your building until today, so that's great. Wonderful. So I think everybody's where they need to be, and beautiful Jessie is now going to sing an honor song for you. Woo! Thank you, everybody. We knew it was going to be a slightly chilly day, so you've got blankets, you got a paddle because there's a lot of water out there. It'll get you home safely.
There are so many others to thank, in particular our senior advisors.
Now she's crying because we love them so much. Our senior advisors to the project, Dr. Phil Fontaine and Dr. Lloyd Axworthy. If you could please both come forward to be acknowledged and presented with a special HBC gift to recognize your many years of service. If you are able to come forward.
Yeah, beautiful. Look at that.
We should note, as they're making their way up, that Dr. Fontaine and Dr. Axworthy were both gifted with Destiny's beautiful blankets at our ceremony yesterday. We do need to note that Phil and Lloyd are both trailblazers and that we are so deeply grateful. We want to thank also, and I know he's been thanked, but it's important that we do it again, the Honorable Jim Carr. This really began with you. So if you could please stand, Jim, we would like to acknowledge you. Thank you so much. We would also like to express our deep appreciation to Terry Duguid, to Kevin Lamoureux. Thank you both so much for your support. We also want to recognize Leah Gazan, who so proudly represents this area as a member of Parliament. Leah Gazan. I would also like to recognize our architects, Brent Bellamy, Rihanna Morasti, she was up here just a moment ago, and Dave Lalama from Number 10 Architecture. Brent and Rihanna, you're both with us today. If you could please stand.
We would also like to acknowledge the support of Cindy Tugwell, Executive Director of Heritage Winnipeg. Cindy. And Angela Matheson, President and CEO of Centre Venture. Angela. It is now time for us to begin to close our ceremony and our event today. Grand Chief, if I could invite you to the podium for your closing words.
Chimigwech, Padamaya, and thank you everyone for being here. Sharing your thoughtful words, commitment to this historic journey as First Nations across Canada move to a self-sufficient, self-reliant, and sustainable future. We do so with the strategic and meaningful partnerships like the ones that have been solidified here today. This project is a vision of revitalization in the heart of Winnipeg's downtown, in line with the traditional holistic approach of sustainable economic development, where the primary value means reinvesting in our communities for the benefit of all. With over 1 million hours of work to be done while in the journey of Winnipeg's post-pandemic recovery, this project creates hope for our people to build success here with a significant job creation project. Today sets the standard of what reconciliation in our country can look like, in the city with the largest Indigenous population in Canada. This project represents SCO's bold vision of what the future can hold. It can be a new world of hope and possibility, filled with place and space for our people to come together to grow, create, and lead. A place for us to connect with people who come from all across Turtle Island. A place for us to stand together in unity, speak with one voice, proud of who we are. This is the vision of our ancestors, and today that vision was met with action. Wewene bagakanagon. In closing, I would like to honor and recognize Chief Larry Barker, Chief Norman Bone, Chief Derek Henderson, Chief Glenn Hudson, Chief Cornell McLean, and Chief Trevor Prince, who formed the executive of the Southern Chiefs organization. Miigwech to the Chiefs of the SCO for your guidance and strong leadership, and to all who have contributed to today's announcement. And again, thank you to Joy Kramer and Jennifer Rattray of the SCO for the countless hours and heart-centered energy in getting us to where we are here today. Today is just a beginning, a local, national, global example of what true reconciliation can look like and a legacy that all of our children can be proud of. Prayers to all of you for a safe journey home, back to your families, and look forward to working with you all together in the years and days to come. Miigwech and Padamaido, thank you.
Thank you, Grand Chief. I'd like now to ask Chief Prince from Sandy Bay Ojibwe Nation, my mother's nation, to come up and say a few words.
Shiguni Tanishnabek, doing work, Ujibaima, Nani Boyot, another what they bought, Makadebenes, Disnekas, Kawi Kwendong Ak Dunji. I swing on the Gai Dong, Gwaka Benuchak, I Benucha, 6 away in Amam Kilas Wating, Gai Yes Yacht, Museo Marking, Canada Asian Kadek. Chimiwechke no de nagwakeno magayot. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau getting chimiwech no de magayot. Good morning, everybody. My name is Trevor Prince. I'm Chief of Sandy Bay Ojibwe First Nation. It's a really emotional subject for me to talk about the kids that are being found across Canada. And I'd just like to ask for a moment of silence for the kids that are still being found. And we can't forget what happened to our people. And I'd like to say thank you for Justin Trudeau for being here today. And I'd like for that moment of silence and whoever's watching on TV. Jimmy Witch.
Thank you so much, Chief Prince. Elder Mary, if I can please ask you to come up and close us in a good way. Thank you so much.
Hambusu, Menoga Gainanam. Well, when the Manandam Gani, Nongum, Kagi, Shagakwe, Kaina Kamigasiak, Kitchena Nakaman, and Namakana, Manutas Gagawete, Chena, Menogagi, Nongum, Antagagi, no, Kagi, Bunda Sake, Ungweke, up Mass short, where when the Chenamanabuni yacht, Gary, no, where to Antagari, no, what a Kim Young Gabunda Siot. Gary, no, young work, and the Nanakamaka, we know, Ogemaka, and that me watching the Nakwagan of Katamwat, when the Kaguga give me a chagyot. Kitchen and knock on the Mwana. Manutas Menon, Kashaganashim, Kananis, Kanarian, the Sutazin, where Gagishamina Wangashamanatu, Kichishagigatong, Haningagi named Chino Wang, Hanin Chisaganon Young, Kichinan Dagotia, Chanas Nabamong, Anishna, Katainaning. Ketong chika ganun temen, ye ganis na abemwang, where when they're gonna sat temen, Kishawendaman, Kimanachitaman, Wewena. Miigwech Dikit. Good afternoon. Again, I want to give thanks for this special day. As we gathered together today in this special day, the comments that were made, if we can reflect when we get home, to our homes, I ask for prayers for all of you that you travel safe and you journey home safe to your homes. Because each and every one of us, we have a responsibility and a role, as we get home to our communities, to our families, to our children, and to our grandchildren. That what was shared here today, that we take those words to heart, what we heard were good things, relationships were made, commitments were made, and those are the things that, that we need to reflect on and never to forget that in order for us to move forward, we have to do things in a good way, in a peaceful way. Because as our elders tell us that we are a peaceful people, I've been taught to do things in a peaceful way. So I wish you all well and travel home safely on your journeys home. And I know that each and every one of us has a journey. We've come from a journey in the past. So again, with that, I want to thank all the chiefs, Grand Chief, thank you, Miigwech. I'm at that point now in my life that I'm forgetting names. I apologize, Richard, Governor. I couldn't remember your name. Chief from Sandy Bay, I'm sorry, I couldn't remember your name. Chief McLean, we're from the same community. Chief Hudson, and to these wonderful ladies that did a lot of work, background work. I will always remember your face, but the names I forget. So again, with that, I thank Creator for this beautiful day. I thank our Mother Earth for sustaining our lives and helping us, and as well our grandfathers and our grandmothers that are there, that are guiding us through our spirit, and of course our ancestors who have paved the way and trailblazed the way for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Elder Mary. We would like to invite Spirit Horse and Battling Horse to provide a drum song. Together. Can you do it together?
We'll go 2 and 2. Sound good? Okay, you guys do the first 2, we'll do second.
Yes.
Teamwork.